Good evening. Good evening. Hello, 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 everyone. And thanks again for tuning into another edition of the Beauty in Us Radio right here on Awesome God Radio. I'm your host, Nelson E. Brown, and I'm glad you guys found the time to join me this evening. This is going to be an abbreviated broadcast. As you may see, I'm very, very tired. But I wanted to hop on to talk a little bit about some of the things that I'm going to be looking forward to in the next few months, starting on June 6th, from June 6th to August 12th this year, I've had the privilege and honor of accepting a position for the Medstar Housecall program as an intern. I'm wrapping up my studies at UMBC, and I'm preparing for this transition of finishing up my studies and entering into the workforce on a full-time basis. And I have this internship from the 6th of June up until August 12th of this year that I'm going to be participating in under the Medstar Good Samaritan Hospital's House Call program. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that. And I wanted to talk about how we can motivate and help our seniors. And we can learn much more about the aging population. The aging population is the population that I'm going to be providing with this quality service, this quality customer service under this program, under the House Call program that's affiliated with Medstar Good Samaritan Hospital. I'm going to have the chance to do that this summer for about 12 weeks, and I'm looking forward to that. But I wanted to talk a little bit about that and how we can provide that type of assistance to our senior citizens, not just throughout our community, but worldwide. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that. And again, this is going to be a very abbreviated broadcast. I'm a little tired today. I did a lot today. I am preparing. I have about a month left before the semester is over, so things are winding down. The spring semester is coming to a close soon, and I've just been really, really busy trying to focus on finishing up my studies and preparing for many different transitions that are taking place right now in my life. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the House Call program under Medstar Health and under Medstar Good Samaritan Hospital. And I wanted to have a conversation about how we can help our seniors. So, according to medstarhealth.org, under the House Call program, one of the objectives, the main objectives for the program, is to promote the health and dignity of frail elders. And in this passage on Medstar Health's website, it states that many elders struggle with disability and severe chronic illness and often have difficulty getting to the doctor's office. As a result, their health status may suffer and lead to unnecessary ER visits, hospitalization, or nursing home care. In 1999, recognizing these needs for frail elders and their families, we created the Medstar House Call program to provide medical and social services that help elders remain in their homes with dignity. The Medstar House Call program is nationally recognized for quality and outcomes of our care. We care for patients at home and also provide state-of-the-art hospital and specialty care. Our inpatient team directly cares for house call patients who need emergency or acute hospital care. Our social services link patients and families to community resources, support caregivers through monthly support groups and weekly mediation calls. In DC, our social workers also provide case management services to eligible patients in the Medicaid, elderly, and persons with a disability waiver program. And it goes into detail about a caregiver's story in terms of being affiliated with the House Call program under Medstar. But I'm going to share with you all a list of services that the program provides. And yes, thanks for the. I appreciate everybody who's tuning in. Just in case, if you're new to the broadcast, my name is Nelson E. Brown, and this is the Beauty in Us Radio right here on Awesome God Radio. I've been pursuing the field of sociology, so that's my major at UMBC. That's what I'm going to be getting my Bachelor's of Arts. I'm answering a question that showed up in the chat. I'm going to be receiving my Bachelor's of Arts degree in sociology with the focus in the social dimensions of health. But I already have my Associate's of Arts degree from CCBC, which is where I transferred from to UMBC. So I hope that answers your questions. And thanks again for your comments and all of your praise. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. But as I was saying, the program has a list of services that they provide to the community. It states that, according to Medstar Health, it says the house calls are made by doctors and nurse practitioners for primary and urgent care, and that they offer, according to Medstar Health, they say that we offer a full range of diagnostic tests and treatments comparable to an urgent care center, home delivery of medications and equipment, coordination of home nursing, physical therapy, and hospice, on-call physician 24 hours a day, 7 days a week by phone, mobile electronic health records, coordination of specialty care and procedures at Medstar Washington Hospital Center and Medstar Good Samaritan Hospital, which is what I just spoke about, in-home counseling and caregiver support by social workers and other staff, coordination of in-home support services such as home health aides, respite care, and financial assistance. And in the DC area only, case management for the Medicaid elderly and persons with a disabilities waiver. So Medstar Health says that their team coordinates emergency hospital and specialty care at Medstar Washington Hospital Center and Medstar Good Samaritan Hospital. And this is some information that you guys can become familiar with as I embark on this path and as I follow this path. My ultimate goal was to pursue a career in the healthcare industry and to study sociology, and that's what I'm doing. I spent 4 years working for the Maryland Department of the Environment under the Lead Poisoning Prevention Program, where I had the opportunity to gain a lot of experience learning about the lead poisoning, a life-threatening disease for children. And I've had a chance to learn more about the program, and I've worked with several staff members, tons of people I've been able to network with in the healthcare industry, from nurses to epidemiologists and to people who know about this illness and about this work. But now I'll have an opportunity to dig a little bit deeper and learn more about the aging population, which is something that I've always wanted to learn about. So it says that patients may keep their previous specialist doctors, and we can work with them as needed. And if new specialist care is required, we make a referral to Medstar Washington Hospital Center or Medstar Good Samaritan Hospital. Our office staff schedule the specialty appointment and can assist in arranging transportation to the appointment. And when house call patients require hospitalization, either through the emergency department or a scheduled admission, our nurse practitioners and doctors arrange the admission, and our doctors care for you in the hospital. Our clinicians work with office staff to coordinate admissions to Medstar Washington Hospital Center's Geriatrics Unit or Medstar Good Samaritan Hospital, depending on the patient location. In DC, our physicians also provide orthogeographic hospital care to non-house call patients. This specialty service was created to ease the complications and provide geriatric expertise to the Medstar Washington Hospital Center. So again, these are some things that I would like for you guys to keep in mind as we have a conversation about this from 6 to 6:30. Again, this is the program I'm going to be working for throughout the duration of the summer for 12 weeks. The Medstar Good Samaritan Hospital, their program is called the Housecall program. So the Medstar Housecall program is affiliated under the Medstar Good Samaritan Hospital. And whenever you guys get the chance, you can look up more information about that whenever you have the opportunity to after the broadcast. But again, this is about caring for our seniors, the elderly. This is about serving the aging population. And I had a chance to serve young people in the position that I was in prior to this one at the Department of the Environment for the state of Maryland under the Lead Poisoning Prevention Program. But now, again, this shift is happening. I have a chance to learn more about the aging population with the internship that I was offered and accepted for 12 weeks throughout the duration of the summer, starting June 6th. And I'm very excited about that. But again, I want everybody to take a moment to think about how we can serve our seniors and how we can help the elderly in our community. The aging population is definitely, yes. Thank you, Ms. Breezy, for tuning in. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. There are several comments in the chat, and I appreciate you guys. And again, this is going to be an abbreviated show, only from 6 to 6:30. We have another guest next week, but this is an abbreviated show. But I want you guys to just think about this subject. again, as we talk about the aging population and as we speak about seniors, and as we speak about how we can provide good service to our seniors, yes, so do I, Ms. Breezy, so do I. I definitely concur with you. Um, when we talk about providing these types of services to our seniors, to our elders, we have to think about how they've been impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. Let's just use that as an example, a very prominent example. As I was talking to a couple of my colleagues at Medstar, and as I've sat down in interviews with them, I talked about my desire to learn about the aging population, but they also gave me a lot of facts in terms of how they've been bypassed throughout the course of the COVID-19 pandemic. I wonder if anybody else has noticed that our seniors, the people who are a part of the aging population and who identify with the aging population, they've been bypassed throughout the course of the COVID-19 pandemic. So throughout the duration of 2 years, you have communities of people who haven't been serviced. You have elders who aren't provided with the service that they need in terms of how much money and time and energy is invested into their needs. We have to think about that. So we can think about that in several ways. But we first have to remember how important it is to protect our country's most vulnerable citizens. And the aging population is amongst those people who are considered to be those vulnerable citizens. And you have tons of offices that are devoted to helping Social Security and Medicare recipients understand the system and have access to the benefits that they've paid for. So in other words, we think about our retirees who have worked and contributed to the system that should be guaranteed their benefits. We have situations where, if you contact your congressman's offices and if you contact some of your local legislators, state legislators, or even um, some of your congressmen or your U.S. senators, you'll have a better understanding of the types of services that they can provide to our seniors and to our elders. I work closely with a lot of our legislators on issues that affect people within our community. And as I learn more and more about the aging population, I'm becoming more and more passionate about serving that community, especially since I have the opportunity to participate under the Medstar Housecall program. And again, when we think about these services, we have to think about it from a holistic approach. And we have to remember that, again, this community, the aging population, our senior citizens, our elders, they matter as well. So some of the social work services include the psychosocial assessments, the development of an individual treatment plan, the information and referral to appropriate resources and supports, the education, emotional support, and counseling to patients and families, the crisis intervention, the advocacy within service networks, and the assistance with identifying alternative placement as needed. So, again, this is talking about the social work services that are provided by the program. And we also mentioned the hospital care and the specialists who work under the program and who are a part of the program. And we also think about, again, the teams of physicians, nurse practitioners, nurses, social workers, and care coordinators who are a critical component of this program. Very, very imperative people. And we also have to think about some of the ways in which many of the residents, the patients, are eligible for the program in terms of how they can enroll into the program. But before we jump into that, I just want to let you all know that, again, when we talk about our seniors and when we speak about our aging population, we have to remember that in terms of us talking about the healthcare industry and in terms of us talking about the ways that we could provide them with service as it pertains to making sure that they have some of their basic needs, their essential needs, we have to think about all of the ways that they've been ignored, all of the ways they've been ignored, and throughout the course of the pandemic. And we have to think about the ways in which we can, again, service that community, service our elders. So I've read a lot of articles throughout the course of the pandemic that have talked about some of the ways that our seniors have been ignored throughout the course of the pandemic. So I'll read a couple of titles of some of these articles so that you guys can look into them a little later and really understand how our seniors are being impacted by what's going on in today's world, especially throughout the course of the pandemic. So again, I, I I encourage you all to reach out to your congressmen's offices and your U.S. senators to learn more about how you can be a part of the process and how you can help serve the aging population. So again, these are some of the titles of the articles that I've read. So on March 23rd, 2021, press released an article saying that Baltimore delegation announces more than $18 million for essential goods and services provided to seniors during the COVID-19 pandemic. Um, Again, one of the congressmen voted to support the U.S. Postal Service and protect Americans' right to mail in ballots. Back in 2017, one of our congressmen elected to attend the Medicaid town hall meeting. The same the congressman delivered Meals on Wheels to local seniors to fight proposed cuts to domestic programs. Um, and another article from 2017, in addition to the other two that I've read about, say that this congressman elected to deliver Meals on Wheels to local seniors and discuss proposed cuts to domestic funding. And even from May 27th last year, an article was released from the same congressman who requested the audit of Baltimore area post offices amid several mail delays. So, again, these are some of the examples of the ways that our senior citizens, our aging population, have been serviced, and some of the ways that they've been bypassed throughout the course of the pandemic. But I wanted to read about the ways that many of our seniors, many of the patients and residents throughout the Northeast Baltimore neighborhoods, because that's where this internship site is located. That's where this Housecall program is located. As we talk about the eligibility requirements and as we speak about the enrollment and insurance, in order to qualify for the Medstar Housecall program, patients must be 65 years or older. They must have difficulty getting to the doctor's office. They must have Medicare, Medicaid, or a managed care plan that the Medstar Housecall program accepts. And again, feel free to go to medstarhealth.org under services. And as you click on services, you can click on Housecall program to learn more about this. But they have to agree to give their previous primary care physician, their primary care doctor, they have to give them up in order to join the program, and they have to live in a qualifying zip code. So again, this internship site is located in the Northeast Baltimore area. And then that means that the Northeast Baltimore residents, a lot of them are the patients and a lot of them are eligible for these services. But again, I encourage you all to go and log on to medstarhealth.org and check this out a little bit more. But let's see, the qualifying zip codes. So let's see. Again, we have to think about the Baltimore region, and we also have to think about the Washington, D.C. regions. And a map is there for you guys to look at. So again, you feel free to, again, look that up at medstarhealth.org/services/housecall program so that you guys can become familiar. And you can check to see if you live in a qualifying zip code, or if someone you know or if someone you love needs these services, you're able to look for that here at this site. So again, when we talk about the social work services, the hospital and care specialists, the eligibility requirements, these are all pieces, these are all components of what makes up this program. A lot of people, again, don't understand, don't really know, I should say, what's out there until they really, really do their research. And when they really, really have the opportunity to, speak to people in their neighborhoods, join some community organizations who fight for the right to have access to these services and to these things that many people don't. So I encourage everyone to work with their local legislators, their state legislators, and even their US senators and congressmen and their offices and their staff members to see how they can be a part of the process. Because again, we all have the ability to make a difference, and all of our legislators work for us. So our voices matter. So another public elected official says that we owe our seniors respect and thanks for their contributions to society. And again, I'm reading a passage that he's written. They deserve to enjoy their time with family and friends rather than worrying about retirement, security, and healthcare costs. So that, again, these are the issues that affect senior citizens. Throughout my congressional career, I have championed the need for resources and services so that seniors can live independently in their communities for as long as possible. And again, he's a member of the Senate Finance Committee, and he says that he continues to work across the aisle to guarantee the quality, security, and solvency of Medicare, Social Security, and many of the other things that many of our seniors, people who are a part of our aging population, have access to. And over its 50-year history, Medicare has guaranteed dependable, comprehensive health coverage to seniors and individuals with disabilities nationwide. And again, this is just one congressman, but all of them have preserved their own views. But again, I encourage you all to get involved and again, reach out to your legislators and figure out how they are fighting for you all and fighting for the people that you love, because again, your voices matter. Preserving Medicare and Social Security, again, this is just one elected official. There are many. I encourage you all to, again, speak to your local legislators, get involved in community events, town halls, and make sure that they understand that your needs and that what you're looking for matters. Preserving Medicare and Social Security should be a fundamental value held by every member of Congress, and any partisan attempt to scale back the program endangers the health of millions of Americans who elected them. And he says that he wants to restore the peace of mind that our seniors deserve by fighting attempts to cut these and other critical programs which they rely on. So again, everybody has an elderly person in their life that they care about, a senior citizen that they care about, someone from the aging population that they care about. So I'm not going to read every single thing. I encourage you all to, again, get involved in your community events, reach out to your legislators, and see how they can help you out with this. But again, I just wanted to let you all know that I'm very, very excited that I have the opportunity to participate as an intern for the Medstar Housecall program this summer. And I wanted to share that with you all and just to, again, put a bug in your ear and encourage you all to think about the ways that you can serve the aging population, because I'm going to be serving the aging population. I'm going to be a shadow for the social worker and the nurse practitioner that I'm going to be collaborating with. I'm going to act as their shadow throughout the course of the 12-week program that I'm going to be enrolled in this summer. But again, we all are in a position to pitch in and help. We're all in the position to protect the lives of our seniors, our parents, our grandparents. I know a lot of people who are taking care of their parents and grandparents, and I know a lot of people who have family members who rely on a lot of these services in order to prosper and thrive and to live their lives every day. So I also want everybody to remember that everybody can't afford these services, the services that are out there now. And that's why we have programs like the Housecall program, which are there to help seniors who cannot afford the services that are required for them to get their medications, to get their to get a reliable source of transportation or anything that they need. So again, I encourage you all. I hope that you all had an opportunity to, again, learn about the Medstar Housecall program. I've shared a little bit of information about that with you guys because that's what I'm going to be doing this summer for 12 weeks. As a shadow for the social worker and the nurse practitioner that I'm going to be working with side by side. But again, this puts in perspective how important it is to provide that service to our aging population. Think about many of the seniors and many of the elders who didn't make it for the 2 years that we've been in this pandemic. Think about how many lives could have been saved with the right amount of resources and the right amount of support from family members and friends and people throughout the community, because this is our village, this is our community. So it's our responsibility to look out for each other and support each other. We have so many different social groups and we have so many different community associations and organizations who are involved in so many activities and who partake in so many things. So I encourage everyone again to reach out to their local and state legislators and their congressmen and their US senators so that they can figure out how they can provide a great solution to many of the issues that many of our seniors are facing, whether it's some of the issues that I've already described in terms of preserving Medicare or Social Security, providing them with an adequate amount of healthcare coverage, quality healthcare coverage, um, making sure that they have a reliable source of transportation to go back and forth to work or to go back and forth to the hospital or to the nursing home or wherever they may be. These are things that we have to consider. These are things that we have to think about from a holistic approach because it impacts us whether or not we want to believe it or not. So it's important to remember that, if you're not a part of the solution, you can be a part of the problem. And we don't want to be a part of the problem. And we don't want this to be an ongoing issue for the seniors that we love and care about. So again, I encourage you all to really, really look into the Medstar Housecall program and really, really think about the ways that you can get involved. I'm so glad, I'm so blessed that I have the opportunity to be a part of this program and to participate in this internship this summer. And it's going to be very rewarding. And I'm going to learn so much from this opportunity, and I'm going to take it with me from this point on. So as I wrap up my studies, with sociology, and as I pursue a career in the healthcare industry, and as I finish my second degree and embark on so many things, I just want to remember this moment. I want to remember the fact that, I was able to make an impact in this way. All of us are in a position to make an impact. So this is just one example of how you can make an impact. This group of people, our elders and our seniors matter. Our senior citizens matter. Our aging population matters. It's a very, very large group of people who have been affected by the pandemic. Our seniors have been left out. They've been bypassed. Many of them have been ignored. So a lot of them who are eligible for these services can participate in these services. So again, if you know anybody, or if you yourself, or if you know anybody who is eligible to participate in this program, I encourage you all to head on over to medstarhealth.org and check it out, because there's so much that you can gain from being a part of this program, and in terms of the services that are provided. The house call program, again, the Medstar house call program. The internship site is located in Northeast Baltimore, but it's affiliated with Medstar Good Samaritan Hospital. So if you know the hospital, and if you have been to the hospital, if you've been a patient, or if you have a family member or a loved one or a friend or someone who's been in the hospital's care and who was satisfied with that care, you want to, again, remember the house call program. It's a very great program. I was able to sit down in an interview with a few amazing ladies who I'll be working with in the next couple of months for 12 weeks. So I encourage you all to look into that more. And again, work with your legislators, work with your congressmen, work with your US senators, because again, we can all pitch in and we can all make a difference. Our voices matter and we are the power. So as we wrap up the show, I wanted to encourage you all to, again, keep each other in prayer. We are coming out of this pandemic. We've been in the pandemic for 2 years, and we're starting to get back to some sense of normalcy. I'm able to tell that a lot of people aren't as worked up and aren't as anxious and depressed as they were in the very beginning 2 years ago. But again, that doesn't mean that people aren't going through something right now. It doesn't mean that people aren't going through tough times or are currently in difficult circumstances. There are people out there who are in tough circumstances right now, and they need our prayers and they need our support. So I encourage you all to reach out to that person that you haven't reached out to in a while, your family members, your friends, people you love and care about. Reach out to them. Let them know that you love them and that you care and that you're praying for them and that you're there when they need you and if they need you. So again, I encourage you all to just think about that. And I hope that this abbreviated show has, enlightened you and inspired you and uplifted you in some way or another. And I encourage you to learn more about this topic, at medstarhealth.org, so that you can figure out how you can be a part of the process and make a difference. So next week on the Beauty in Us Radio, right here on Awesome God Radio, we're going to be sitting down and we're going to have a discussion about District 8 of Baltimore City. So we're going to be sitting down with Councilman Christopher Burnett from the 8th District, and he's going to be speaking to us about the 8th District. So that covers Southwest Baltimore and portions of West Baltimore, if I'm not mistaken. So he's going to educate us about what it's like living in that community and what it's like to serve that community in his position as the councilman. I've been working with a lot of local legislators and state legislators, and even some of my congressmen about many of the issues that are impacting residents and the constituents who live not just in the city of Baltimore or not just in the county that I live in, but also throughout the state of Maryland. So I encourage you all to make an appointment to meet me back here on Tuesday, April 26th at 6 p.m. It's going to be a very, very great show. And I encourage you all to, again, reach out to the people that you haven't spoken to in a while and that you haven't called in a while. And don't just send a text, pick up the phone and speak to them. Your voice, people want to hear your voice. People want to know that you care. Again, we are in the month of April. I feel like 2022 is flying by already. But, again, even though we're going back to some sense of normalcy, I want to encourage everyone to make sure that they take their mental health days and to take a break from this fast-paced society that we live in, this microwavable world. Sometimes it's nice to just take a mental health day and just sit back and relax. It's also important, again, to have your moments where you can just chill and just take a step back from everything and just focus on giving yourself some breathing room, giving yourself some permission to just let go and enjoy the progress that you've made thus far. Again, spend time with your family members and friends. We just had, an Easter weekend, Easter Sunday, a Passover Sunday. And I hope everybody had a chance to spend some time with their family members and friends. And Memorial Day is coming up, so I hope everybody has a chance to celebrate that day and to celebrate, its purpose. And I hope that everybody has an opportunity to be with their family and to celebrate and to really, really cherish it, because you don't get those memories back once they're gone. So again, I love you guys and I appreciate you guys. And again, make an appointment to meet me back here on Tuesday, April 26th, 2022. We're going to be sitting down with the 8th District Councilman, Christopher Burnett from Baltimore City, to talk about District 8 and the issues that are impacting District 8 and the work that he's doing in order to build that community, to rebuild the community, and to revive the community in the city of Baltimore. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.